I used to believe I was never totally alone, always near me. There was a shadow, the personification of hopelessness, desolation, and despair. Then the green figures arrived. They were my world, my family, but their presence felt like an invention that filled the darkness until I couldn't see anything else. The weight became unbearable. Despair guided my hands, tried to convince me that death was the only way out. But life is terror, and the attempt failed. The actions of that despair left me in a psychiatric hospital, a place I remember as dark, with much weeping, pain, and shadows. It was a place where space and time did not exist. At first, despair was frustrated, pacing around me, unable to finish its task. However, seeing the despair of others so closely burst a bubble. It was the raw truth that saved me. This despair wasn't just mine, it was universal. But at that moment, I was barely starting to realize it. The hospital doors finally opened. Honestly, I wasn't cured. Or did I feel transformed? I simply took the hand of my despair, not as a victim, but as someone who has begun to understand its face. The best part of my experience was feeling an overwhelming vividness and simplest things. The weather, the light, and the wind. I didn't notice then, but for the first time, I was choosing to stay.
My name is Angela Fernandez and I am here to talk about my bed experience. It all started in 2020 when the world changed completely because of the COVID-19. I stayed at home for a long time alone. Until one day my mom came home with an idea. She said, "What if we get a pet?" And I felt very happy. My parents worked all day, more than 12 hours. The house felt empty, silent, slow. I felt really sad. I remember my neighbor, he had a cat and small babies. They were so small and very cute. My mom arrived tired from work. I told her about the cat and she said yes. We went to ask if the cat was for adoption. The neighbor opened the door and I fell in love with the cat. She was beautiful, very small and orange. My mom saw the cat. She also fell in love and she asked the neighbor if we could adopt her. The neighbor said yes, but we had to wait 2 weeks because she was still a baby. I waited and waited, feeling very anxious, excited, and happy. 2 weeks later, he came and gave me the cat. Finally, I held her in my hands, and I was the happiest girl in the world. I named her Venus Sky because I really liked that name. She grew day by day, and over time she became very spoiled. She followed me everywhere I went all the time, and we were always together. We always played together while my parents were getting divorced in the kitchen. My parents separated, and I didn't know who to live with. In the end, I went to live with my dad in his new house and his new family. Of course, Venus came with me.